I've realized that one of the reasons we'll have a tough conversation is for the result that we want. Like we want to get that job, or we want to get that sale, or we want to change our situation or stop someone bugging us. And that's great. We've also identified that another benefit is we can feel good about ourselves that we've spoken up. But you're now coming to another benefit, which is connection.
Yeah.
Usually the connection increases between two people who are having a tough conversation and listening is happening. And even if you don't get what you want, even if both of you don't get what you want, but if listening is happening, you've both spoken up, you've heard each other's side, there'll usually be more connection. All right, we disagree on this. Okay, got it. You want to get a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that learning to disagree agreeably. We're just not going to get on the same page. I see this differently than you. But at least it's out there and we're not festering on it. And I think to me, that's one of the most important things, when you look at our emotional lives, the quality of our lives, so often, what are the quality of the emotions that we're feeling? And some people get normalized living with this ongoing sense of despondency or resentment or feeling undervalued or unappreciated or left out. It's just we accept these as a status quo, like that's just how it is. And no, that's not just how it is, that's how you're choosing it to be.
Yes, that's a bad habit to get into. And if you're in that habit, you're not alone. It's the norm. But I'm here and you're here to say it doesn't have to be the norm. And the more you break that pattern, the more it will become normal for you to speak up. Yeah. And hearing you say that about just kind of normalizing the resentment, I was thinking, boy, didn't this just happen for me recently? Like what? It was this morning I spoke up. This morning. I met a new friend recently, maybe a few months ago, and we clicked like a house on fire. And we've been sending messages back multiple times a day for a couple of months. And it's been so great to have a buddy. And we met at camp, of all things, right? So it was like a camp buddy. And then she just stopped communicating. And like weeks went by and I wrote and said, hey, what's going on? And there was just a thumbs up came back. And so I left it for another month. And then I sent another message saying, I'm in mystery. What did I say something? What happened? Are you no longer interested in staying in touch? Just let me know where you're at. 6 weeks have gone by and nothing. And I've been sitting in it thinking, David, you spoke up. You spoke up. Like maybe this is just it, but it feels incomplete. So finally I woke up this morning and I sent another message saying, I'm still in mystery. If I don't hear back, I'm going to assume that you're no longer interested in being friends and that you have chosen not to tell me why. I'd be disappointed. You don't seem like the kind of person to ghost someone, but I'll do a clearing ritual, whatever. I'm going to let it go, but I'm wrapping it up for myself.
Yeah.
And it was because I noticed I'm stewing subtly in this over time. Like what's going on? Now, another lesson out of this is you cannot force someone to come to the table, but you can control what you say and you can control inviting someone to the conversation.
Yeah. And what I heard you just say then, and I think it's really powerful, is you are clearing everything up on your end. What's going on for her, you don't know, you can't know, you can take zero. That's not about you, but I just want to clear up. And I know I had that years ago myself with just some issues in relationships from long ago, like just some of the ones where you started with the guy who, burgled someone at 16, where I'm like, a long time ago, I just didn't do the right thing by someone, and I just want to clear that up for my own sake. And I've got 4 kids and 2 of them at college, 2 are in last couple of years of high school. And I'm always like, just make sure you're you're clean in how you manage things. Maybe sometimes you mess up, but own what you mess up and clean it up. So it's not lingering out there that you just didn't turn up one night, or you suddenly bailed on someone's invite and went for something, took a better invite. You need to clean that up. And I think that's something we can all do in terms of just cleaning it up. In this case, for your example this morning, it was nothing that you did that you needed to be sorry for, but you still just wanted to get completion on it. And
Completion,
I think,
even for myself, and you can complete with anyone. And I know people will argue with this, and they'll say, oh, but my ex won't talk to me, or my father's dead, right? I can't complete. No, you can complete for yourself. You can write a letter, you can communicate, or at least try to communicate. You can I'm going to do my own clearing ritual, like celebrating the contact we had, and like, all right, I don't know what the reason is, letting it go. And I love what you said about cleaning up the past. It's like everything that we do that's not clean sticks to us a little bit, and we start to accumulate it. And that's the problem with not cleaning up the past. You end up with this huge weight of things. Now, I'm not saying you got to go back and clear up everything from your past. That can take a lot of coaching and support to do that. But you can stop accumulating things from now. And as they occur, I just cleared up something today in an email. There's an author, big name author, had asked me for an endorsement, and I'd said yes. Now it's like 8 months later, and I found an email, and I hadn't done it. Now, I had my reasons for not doing it. I couldn't get into the book. I just couldn't read the book. It didn't make sense to me. And so I finally wrote back and I said, I'm embarrassed and I'm sorry. I took it away with me on vacation. I couldn't get into the book, so I couldn't write you an endorsement, and I apologize. Like, let's just make that a habit.
Yeah.
Don't wait 8 months to do it, but
yeah, I think that's a big one when it comes to commitments. I have a real thing around managing our commitments with integrity, as I know you would as well. And how often people say they'll do something and then don't do it. Like people who say, oh, we'll catch up, I'll call you, and then they don't call, and that happens a lot. And I think right there is an opportunity for us to have brave conversations. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, or, I should have done that, or let's renegotiate, let's figure out what we can do moving forward.
Yeah.
So David, I just want to sort of kind of, wrap all of this up for people who are listening. Obviously, they can actually download, obviously, your worksheet. Where would they go to do that?
Go to playforreal.life. Playforreal.life, and it's a free download there.
Fantastic. Great. But if there's one thing, if people were going to just, after listening to us talking today, and how they can be braver in their conversations with people, and also really having that integrity in our conversations and how we engage and interact with other people. If there was one thing you were going to say, look, if you only do one thing, having listened to our conversation, what would that be? What would be the one thing you would encourage people to do?
Well, I want to give two, if I may. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say call up Landmark Education. Go to landmarkeducation.com. Get yourself in the forum. I've sent clients. I've sent my family. I've lost clients. I've lost clients because they've gone there and said, I'm all set now. I don't need coaching. I still send people there. It's 3 days. You've got a 20% chance that nothing's going to happen for you, and at least a 50% chance that you'll have a major breakthrough. So that would be if I could only pick one. If I could pick two, I'd say if you're interested in being more of a leader in your life, and perhaps also in your career and your business, see if you qualify for a discovery session with me at playforreal.life. I'd love to hear from you. And I don't charge for these sessions. It's how I find the right people to work with long term.
Cool. Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing both of those. And that concept of being a leader in your own life, I love that, because heck, we cannot be a leader for anyone else in the world unless we are, being a leader in our own life and taking full ownership of our experiences in life and how we occur for people. You used that language earlier. And so what are the conversations, one, we're having with others, but what are the conversations we're having in our own heads? Because those ones, from there, everything else, flows, right?
Yes.